Michelle joins us via Skype from London, England. Michelle, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I think we're all doing better now that you have this app to help us in this mom journey, mom to mom. I understand that 2 a.m. reading blogs, trying to decipher whose comments are real and whose are not. Michelle, you were at an interesting point in your own life. You'd read the baby books, you'd done it all, but you were not prepared for that sense of isolation that you found yourself feeling.
Yeah, I think you go through this really seismic life change, right? Where you're kind of so excited, the anticipation, you've bought everything, you've read the books, you feel really prepared. And then what happens is this small person arrives, the reality hits you, and you're like, life has changed forever. And I now need to try and work out who I am in this new role. It's this strange feeling of your identity is changing. You're really thinking about what's coming next for you. You're learning how to be a mom. You're feeling like you're going to get it wrong. You're really scared about the kind of feelings of these raging hormones, coupled with the feelings of, I must not get this wrong.
Yeah.
This is something I've waited for so long. So it can be a really scary experience and quite isolating.
And I can tell you there are a lot of people right now watching, nodding as you were explaining, because it is a familiar feeling for so many of us. Now, you'd been working in the tech world, but from the dating perspective and learning how to connect people that way. What was the light bulb moment when you said, okay, if I can connect people on dates, I surely can connect moms to help each other out?
You know what happened actually is it was exactly that feeling where I was like, I am connecting people to go and find their partner and to date. And I can't even find a girl in my local area to go for a coffee with. You know, my girlfriends weren't at the stage that they were having babies. And it's like 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. Your girlfriends are at work and you're with a small person and you actually don't really know what to do. So it felt like a really natural progression for me. Hang on a minute. What if I take the algorithms that we use to connect people romantically and apply it to platonic friendships to help me find some women in the area and really just kind of prove it out. Will women use an app like this to find friends? And the rest is kind of history. It just blew up in a way I could never have expected.
What's so stunning is that, and not that this is not a great idea, but that it didn't exist, right? When you think, it's like, we always talk about the womanhood and the sisterhood and the uplifting each other, but this way to connect moms to other moms did not exist.
Imagine that all that was there were the kind of old school forums that, you know, have been around for kind of 15, 20 years. And that was it. Like, unless you're going to go to an in real life, like mommy meetup class, which, by the way, in the very early weeks, you're not going to, right? Because you're waiting for a certain period of time before you can go and you're not so worried. How do you meet people? Plus, if you've got a baby who is anything like my baby Finn at the time, you have to leave that class like quick sharp, right? He was always the baby that vomited or was crying and I was like rushing to get home. So I wasn't like hanging around to mingle with these moms. I was thinking about need to get home, need to change him, maybe it's nap time, whatever it is. So the fact that nothing existed for moms, the fact that nothing existed for women was an amazing opportunity for us, but a huge gap because the fact of the matter is not enough women are working in tech and therefore not enough women have the experience to start building. And I think that was probably the biggest opportunity for
It's a great opportunity. So with Peanut, you've created this community where women say they feel more comfortable talking about these silent struggles, whether it's infertility, postpartum, depression, menopause. And I love that recently you launched a campaign that went viral called #Renaming Revolution. And it all started with this video.
So I just got in my doctor's office and he told me as a woman over 35, I'm now considered a geriatric mom. And that if I were to become pregnant, there could be high-risk complications. And I just can't help but feel really inadequate and guilty right now that I'm lacking as a woman. I deserve to feel hopeful and empowered, and instead I just feel so right now. It sucks.
Michelle, let me tell you, when my doctor first told me I was a geriatric pregnancy. First of all, I had never heard of it. And I said, wait a minute, let me look this up. What does that mean? I relate very much so as a 48-year-old who was pregnant with her first child. This set off a firestorm within the community.
I mean, just this video and the fact that women feel able to share these kind of stories on Peanut just shows how important Peanut is, right? But secondly, I too, I'm going to hold my hands up, was also a geriatric mom with my second baby. And it was just this awful moment where even when my doctor said it to me, I laughed because I was nervous. I didn't know how to respond to it. In my head, geriatric was someone who is in their later years of life.
Yeah.
That's like an elderly person. So I was like, this is so bizarre. And you're right, it just went viral. The community started sharing all of these phrases that were being used in respect of their health, where they really felt disempowered. So whether that was to do with their fertility and women were being told they had premature ovarian failure, or whether they were, words like barren were still being used, miscarriage, just this unbelievable language that is very disempowering for women. It's cloaked in failure. And actually, women kind of came out and started sharing their stories. So we decided to launch the renaming revolution.
I love it. Well, I'm happy that the renaming revolution has taken off, as well as Peanut. Congratulations, Michelle, on this. This is an awesome app.
Thank you so much.